All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to another exciting episode of the Gist City podcast, the biggest podcast show in the city of Port Harcourt, right here in Rivers State. And I'll see you all know we're not just the biggest, we're seated here calling ourselves the biggest. We're the biggest because you share our stories, you like our content, you repost it. Most importantly, the love you have for us. We want to say thank you and thank you so much. All right, so moving forward, we want to introduce to you our headline sponsors. Belema Oil Producing Limited, the leading Niger Delta indigenous world-class energy company operating within the Niger Delta territory. Belema Oil Producing Limited has emphasized their right on their corporate social responsibility. We want to say thank you so much. And also MLJ Marine Oil and Gas, an oil servicing company that is into marine services, also paid attention to their corporate social responsibility. We want to say thank you so much. All right, yes. So also I want to also use this medium to also introduce to you our associate sponsors, Odogu Bitters. Odogu Bitters is the number one herbal alcoholic drink in Nigeria, right here in Nigeria. All right, most persons they feel we just come here open-hearted to talk about this, to give you trending stories, to talk about things that concerns the people of Rivers State, Niger Delta, and Port Harcourt in general. All right, just to keep you abreast that we are on Odogu Bitters High. Also, we have one of the best bread in Nigeria and also a trending bread in Rivers State, Port Harcourt, right here. I'm talking about the classic cream bread. I just took classic cream as a breakfast before I came on to this show. Moving forward, we also have the Turkey Pasta, number one online food servicing company right here in Rivers State. All those of our fans that are into launching. Every time you want to have lunch, please make sure you order your food from Turkey Pasta. You can call the number on the screen displayed right in front of you. All right, so without wasting much time, may I use this medium to introduce to you my co-host. From my immediate right, I have the gorgeous lady, the woman with enough vibes, the woman that has a lot of goodies in the lips of her mouth.
The Queen of Love.
Queen of Love.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Queen of Love, on board.
Thank you.
All right, so up next, we have my co-host. I used to call her exactly Mommy Girlba. My co-host, another black beauty in the house. An unspeakable lady with an unspeakable character. May we welcome our unspeakable girly bar. A big welcome to you. A big welcome to you. All right. So today we'll be talking about peer pressure and its effect to the society. And to digress this particular topic with us, we have a guest in the house. This guest is unimaginable. This guest is someone that when he talk about youthful happenings in the state, youthful happenings in Nigeria, they are number one. They are one person that will sit you down and then talk sense into your head. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to you Victor Akuro, who is the lead coach, Accelerated Capacity Enhancement. You're welcome to the show, sir. You're welcome. All right, thank you so much. To the house, sir. You're really welcome. How's been your day, sir?
Amazing. That's good.
All right, so for the furtherance of today's episode, I would hand over the section to my co-host, Queen of Love.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Peer pressure is one big menace that has eaten deep into the fabrics of our society. And so we have someone who is going to dissect. Tell us more about peer pressure. So first, we'll start by asking you, what is peer pressure?
Okay, thank you very much. And let me appreciate you all for having me at the Gist City podcast.
Thank you.
I feel privileged when I'm called up to speak on issues that affect the life of youth and all of that. But first, it's good to first understand, because many times when we talk about peer pressure, everybody sees it in a negative aspect.
Yes.
So we must understand that peer pressure is not just a negative thing.
Okay.
It can also be in a positive way. But it's basically the influence people or individuals have on their peers. And that's just the basic idea. I think that's the best way to just explain it for every random person to be able to understand. It's what are those things you do directly or indirectly that you think that it's as a result of those around you or those you find yourself around more often. This could be basically in different areas, maybe like for young people who are students in school. It may just be things that maybe your colleagues in class do, and then before you know what's happening, you find yourself doing the same thing. For someone who is sitting in his office, it could be something that your work colleague does, and then before you know what's happening, you find yourself doing them. So I think it could be seen in different directives, and as we go further, I guess we'll get to just more about it.
Awesome.
Okay, all right. So I want to ask, when do one consider ourselves free from peer pressure or societal pressure?
Well, when do you consider yourself free? Not necessarily. I think the minute you find out that you take decisions on your own without based on your personal values and not based on what every other person thinks about it. So I think that's what's really important, that every time you try to take a decision, or every time you try to act, or every time you try to behave in a certain way, be sure that it's something that comes from inside. It's something that comes from your personal norms, your personal values, and not because Mr. A or Mr. B or my friend does this. That's why I want to do this. Yeah. So basically, that's when you're free from it.
Okay, you said something that peer pressure comes from within the environment you find yourself and all of that. Then I've always pondered on at what point does peer pressure end? In the sense that, do you think a person who is up to, because you're a youth till you're 60, right? So at 40 years, do you think a person is still going through the influence of both negative or positive peer pressure? Because in our current society now, we have more of negative pressure going out, and it's even making it very difficult to bring out youth productivity in our society. So at what point does an adult know that I can say no to things without an influence from somebody?
Apparently, let me be sincere to you. There's no point where you say no to peer pressure. Let me share something. I went for a birthday party. It was a 65-year birthday party. So someone was celebrating 65. And so it was like an extended family. And then someone walked in there with me, and then he said something. He said, by reason of, he met his mother-in-law there, and then his mother-in-law would turn 70 in just a few months. And then he said something to me. He said, "This is trouble already." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "For this reason, my mother-in-law would want to celebrate her 70th birthday." So that's pressure already.
Yes.
And so you see, so she's feeling, no, if they had to celebrate her at 65, you have to celebrate me at 70. So for me, I feel like it doesn't have an end. It's not like she really wanted to celebrate, but because I'm here and like this is in April, the other person is celebrating in June. So it's not like there was actually a plan. I really wanted to celebrate this thing, but wow, I'm here. I want to celebrate. But you get the idea. So basically, these are the things. But would you call that negative pressure?
No. That's not negative pressure.
But to some extent,
desiring to do something.
When you look at the economic challenges, don't you think it's negative pressure?
Right. So Victor,
happening right now.
So it's pressure to the children that will celebrate the birthday.
There's this thing that bothers me a lot. In life, basically, we have more of the negativity than the positivity. And what would pray for everyone?
No, let me cut you. It's not like we have more of negativity.
The negative is just
the negative is more profound.
Because
so
people tend to dwell more on the negative
people
things.
dwell more on negative.
What we pray for more is, I want to see more positive vibe. I want to see more positive vibe. I want to see more positive. Now, when it comes to peer pressure, all right, let me relate it to that of the negative vibe in the positive pressure, all right, and in the peer pressure. So what I want to ask is, as a you, do you feel like with everything that is going on today, social media this, social media that, Yahoo this, Yahoo that, you feel as a Nigerian youth, you understand we're truly the future leaders of tomorrow? Are you very, very certain about this?
Well, I'm actually a nation builder. And in all that I try to do, I try to make people understand that. In fact, lately, we're trying to launch a program where it's called the Emerging Leaders.
Okay.
And we're looking at this thing that 20, 30 years from today, The people leading us will not be the people leading us.
Very
Yes.
true.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the truth is, whether you like it or not, they're actually the leaders of tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Your prayer should be that they will be the right leaders
Leaders,
for
yes.
tomorrow.
Yes. Yes.
And
I
that's
agree with
where
you.
that's one thing I try to teach this period. In fact, most of what
How
I try
sure
to
are
do-
we that? How sure outside the I feel like Nigeria is like the most praying country, like the number
Yeah.
one in the world.
Yeah.
How sure are we that as we are praying, this particular prayer we are praying will come to pass? Because a lot of future leaders, they already have the future for tomorrow. I think I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and he was telling me, Wobo started playing at the age of 6. Football, like started playing at the age of 6. So how prepared are we,
to
as
take
a
up the mantle.
yeah, as a youth leader, you've been speaking to quite a lot of
Yeah.
youths. You
Yeah.
already know what's on the ground. How prepared are we, the youth, to taking up the leadership mantle?
Okay, I think to a great extent there are a lot of great guys out there who are
Yes,
preparing
yes.
for leadership. In fact, let's move away from the negative
Yes.
and look at the
And focus on
positive.
the yeah. I
Just
agree.
last week, I had a couple of meetings, and something struck me. I had a meeting with Olumati Isaiah, and for the first time, Olumati was sharing the details of what he's doing today and how that it started way back.
Okay.
And when you sent an invitation to me, it was more like it wasn't something I really would not expect.
Yes.
Last week I was live on ATN TV for 2 hours, and we were sharing issues that had to discuss Nigeria development and all of that. There are a lot of great guys out
Yes.
there, but you see, what we need to do as young people is connect.
Yes. Networking.
We need to connect.
Yes.
We need to bring these great guys together who
Together.
believe in the future. And part of what we want to do is that not just bring them together. As much as we can bring them together, can we pressure those who need to be leaders tomorrow?
Yes.
Can we bring them around, and then let's let them see that some people are already working. Some people are already prepared. Just like what you were saying, I was doing a study on the world in 2050. I was doing the study in 2021. And what really should the world look like in 2050? And that's exactly 26 years from today. And it would shock you to know that while we were doing that study of what the world would be like in 2050, there were over 50 million people who were doing the same study.
Serious.
Mm.
To tell you that people are intentional
Yes,
People are
about
very
a
intentional.
better
And
society.
And they're
In fact,
trying to see how they can work
Yeah,
together.
lately, wherever I go to, in fact, throughout this year, what I've been trying to do is speak to emerging leaders. And that's one thing I always share. Something struck me. When people move from third world nations to first world nations,
Yeah.
another name they call this first world nations are what they call them, advanced nations.
Advanced,
Nations,
developed.
yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And if you get the word advance, where does the word come from? So advance is to
Move forward.
ahead.
Go
Move
ahead.
forward,
Move
yes.
ahead.
look ahead,
Yes.
Yes.
see ahead,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
The reason why we call them advanced nations is that they are already preparing for the world or what the future would look like. They're already
Yes.
preparing for. So for us here in River State, sorry to say, we're preparing for 2027 elections.
Elections.
Yes.
I agree with you. Go on social media.
And
That's
then-
all the
okay.
trending.
And
is.
then somebody is preparing for 2050 elections.
Yes.
Or what not even elections per
Yes.
se, but what the world should look like in
like
2050.
2050, yes.
So I'm thinking, one time I was privileged to, by privilege or by what we do, I was invited by the OOPL. OOPL is the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library. And we had a meeting with him, and then we were gisting. And then, very funny, but someone asked Baba, how come you were in prison and they called you to be president? And Baba laughed. He said, in 1981, they set up a think farm. That the idea behind the Olusegun Obasanjo farm was not a farm to farm crops.
Are you serious?
So it was basically a farm to farm ideas.
Can you imagine?
Now, the humbling part of it was that fast forward 1998, when he will be called to take the PDP
Yes.
presidential ticket to run for office. These guys who had labored with him those days in the Think Farm
Yes.
were the group of people who would nominate him,
Yes.
even though he was in prison.
Yes, the person that championed the old cause.
So in a sense, we know his capacity.
Yes.
We know he has built himself.
Yes.
And just really he has built himself.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Now, another very important question I want to ask you. By virtue of what I do, I go to the villages, especially to talk
amazing.
to young people,
Super amazing.
young, small children, just to know their idea. Now, whenever I visit them, one thing that gets me thinking is, who do you want to be your role model? Those days I used to, when they asked me, I used to call the gods in Eferebos, the Celeb Francis, the Allah Tego, but these are people that even today I still look up to them.
Yeah.
You understand? But when I go and say, who wants to, they're calling bunker, until that is the person I want to be like.
Okay, can I share with you?
Yes.
Because he's more available to them than you.
So
I doubt.
Exactly.
I doubt.
No, he's more
He has a
available
point.
to
No,
them.
he has a point. He has a point. All
He's
right.
more available to them.
Now I'm going to use emphasis on random names.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Now, let me use Mr. Abonima.
Yes.
For example, Mr.
Yeah.
Abonima is educated. Mr. Abonima is learned. Mr. Abonima speaks a lot of English. Travels around the country.
But it's not always
You
available.
understand? And then you call Mr. Abonima, please, Mr. Abonima. I want to do this. Come and help me. Come and do this. Come and do that for me. And he's like, he's not taking your calls, or he takes your call and he shouts at you. Or like, all right. So Mr. Potakot is a bunker, like he's a street guy. He also has money.
Yeah.
Not
Who
as
is
rich
accessible.
as
Yes.
not as rich as Mr. Abonima. You call Mr. Potakot guy,
Potakot, and he's
right?
available.
He tells you, oh, sorry, please, what do you have? I don't have money now. Please, can you come later?
Come.
You come tomorrow. He gives you the money. Oh, it's not much. It's not enough, but please have this. Now, these guys, they are always available. Now, sometime in like March last year, someone told me like, waiting they worry all these are big men are too much grammar. Do you feel like these people, they are giving us a negative pressure as per choosing the wrong choice for our youths for today?
See, I'm so sorry,
Okay,
but
go ahead.
when I want to disagree with you a little bit, the reason is I've also seen people that are educated that want to give to
How
the
many
society.
of them, please?
I'm not looking at the elites now. I'm not even looking at those that will have the money. I'm talking about
If you don't have
those
money,
young people.
how do you give?
No.
The money is not
Money is
everything.
not everything. I go out of
money
my
is like
way.
90 or 80.
Wait, no. I disagree
okay,
with you.
okay.
I go. That's why we have the problem. That's where the pressure comes in, because these children now, they are looking up to those persons that have involved themselves in kidnapping, that have involved all of this vice, and then they now get money from those sources and they are giving to them. So they see those persons as their role models, which is one thing we should discourage. It mustn't be about the money, but about you being somebody tomorrow.
Yes.
So if money is at the forefront, if money is just there, okay, money, this man is bringing money. He comes to the society,
Make I give you
he's
one
bouncing and
instance.
he's bringing money.
Yeah.
And then
Make
he's
I-
my role models. The
Make
guy
I
is
give
my
you
role
one
models.
instance,
Yes.
Make I give you in 2019 election, someone had a setback because of this you're not available stuff. I won't mention.
I
his
agree
name,
with you.
all
I
right?
agree
You're not
with you.
available. The guy is very rich, massively rich. I was talking to his fellow rich man and he's like, I believe that guy, waiting to worry, I'm not saying greedy. That guy has money. And I'm like, so if your fellow rich man is telling me that you have
You're
money,
not available.
but you're greedy,
No, I agree with that.
No, but
you
okay,
understand what
for
I'm
instance,
saying?
You
Yeah.
see, let's go back to what you are saying. The truth is they are not available. For instance, I was watching an interview. Permit me to call names. When I do this thing, it's good to call.
Please call names. Call names. Both the negative ones and the positive
Yeah.
ones. Yes,
Okay, for the negative, we may not call them.
Eh.
For the positive, we may call
Yes,
them so that
so-
they need
yeah,
to sit
yeah.
They
up.
need to sit up and do more. Yeah.
I was watching an interview some days back. And I think was it Arise or Channels or TVC?
Yeah.
They were doing an interview with Atedo Peter side.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, you mean we have this kind of person
Yeah.
and he's a reverse man?
Yeah.
What are they doing in Lagos? They
That's
should
the
come back here
availability we are talking
and
about.
give back to River State. One time I had privilege of so I was just gisting her and then she's like, in fact, most of these bank MDs are even reverse men. Like, when you really look at it.
Honestly.
The likes
And
of,
for-
Wigwe that
Yeah,
just
we have
passed
Wigwe, who last minute thought that he needed to come back home to give back
Yeah.
and all of that. I know somebody that Wigwe came in January because he wanted to do an open for his Wigwe University, and so they had like a meeting where they invited people to come and know about the school. And really, even in death, he calls Wigwe his mentor because he had access just one day. Not like he had access to
Money,
sit with him
yeah.
or discuss with him, or he just had access to sit in a place where he saw this man, he heard him speak, and he's like this is real. So so you see, I think we need to begin to
be available.
Be available to the next generation. In fact, we need to. I think we need to get intentional about this thing.
Okay, I think let me add to what you just said, and taking from what you also said earlier. These people in the villages, in the creeks, in the areas that's probably having access to these great minds, is going to be almost impossible for them. And like she said, these are the people that see Bonkri Lords as their kidnapping, as their mentors. In fact, they would even do it better than the people that they are looking up to. Now, why I said I want to add to what he said is being available is one thing, but getting down to that root is another thing.
Because some persons will actually be available for the big boys.
For the big boys, they will never be available.
They don't want to come
people
down to the younger ones or to those persons that
as far as I'm concerned, that is a pressure for youth. Because as a youth, I'm here and I have a good business idea. And I feel like, okay, I'm staying in the creeks, for instance, and I've been able to meet one or two persons, or by His grace, I'm having some level of understanding that I can script out something I want to do. And finance is the problem. And another friend of mine comes to me and is telling me, this thing not go work. Who you go meet? We go give you finance. Oh, mama, go enter creek, go kidnap. I'll follow him. Why? Because I don't even think the likes of me, you, would even come to the villages to help these people.
True. All right. So,
due to business,
Mr. Akuro, I want to ask you a question. Sorry to cut you short. All right. My question is now, in the light of I want to get a support, like okay, I want to carve this thing, and then I need a chisel. I want to buy a chisel, and I can't afford it. And I come to you as a big man, very learned. I look up to you. I want to be like you. You travel outside the country, and then you explore. I come to you and I be like, I want to get this support. All right. And then there are pressure, that negative pressure in the society, telling me that I can't do this, I can't become this, and I'm like, okay, this is my vision. I want to push it, and I come to you and I want to get support. And then you discourage me by maybe not taking my calls or not supporting me in that instance. How do I overcome that kind of a pressure? Okay, so
first of all, there's something I like to tell young people is that it is not what you don't have that limits you. It is what you have and you do not know how to use that limits you.
Okay.
Don't come to me with the wood.
He needs a chisel.
You need a chisel.
Yeah.
Come to me with, you need a chisel, but you have a knife.
Does not have a knife.
He does not have, there's no way you won't have anything.
You have something.
You have to.
Are you sure?
There's something.
Sometimes a lot of persons, they don't have at all.
Then you're not ready.
That's why I said, that's why I said
something.
it's not what you don't have that limit. How did you start?
A chisel.
Yes.
How did you start?
With your chisel.
What you're doing today? Did you start in this room?
You started with your own chisel.
You started with an idea. You were able to communicate to someone.
Yes.
That
bought into the
and
idea.
of
How
course
did
you
I
had
come here?
discouragement.
How did he come?
How did I get to this place?
Okay, now let's assume everything is there. I had my support from my own end, and I'm
Who
coming
did
to
who
you.
supported you?
I'm just.
No, let's break it down. Let's come to the
Okay,
point.
hold on. My dad supported me.
Your
for
dad
instance.
supported you.
No, I'm just giving. For instance, my dad
let's face
supported
reality.
me.
Let's
Okay,
hit it
now,
like with reality now.
This is the question, which is like millions of Nigerians asking. You understand? Now, I want to carve this thing, and okay, you said I need to have a knife first. I was able to afford that knife. I'm like, this knife is taking me 2 hours to carve one thing. But with a chisel, it take me like 1 hour.
Get my point.
And I come to you.
So with your
So you
knife,
have a start.
you would have been able to
Start something.
When you come to me, that is where many people miss it.
But you know, most persons, you still bring it to them.
That is where a lot of them miss it.
Okay.
You were calling a lot of sponsors. You know why they sponsored you?
Because you're there. You have made it already. You have started already.
Nobody
not
will
even
my
completely
brother,
starting
nobody
already.
will sponsor if you have not started something.
Yes.
They must see the light.
You see,
now.
people.
Some people have not even
do
written
you know
anything
how
down.
many of them started their businesses? Because many of them understand how they grew to where they are. They didn't,
Yes.
it wasn't somebody. Can I humble you? The truth is, every time you even give to people just like that, you end up not doing anything.
Yes.
True. I agree with you.
Yes.
If you think
No
of the
value.
struggle of how far you have come, to go back would be a big problem. for
True.
you. But if you think that you can just run around and anybody will give you money, you can give up on that business and start another one tomorrow. In fact, that's part of the pressure we should be talking about.
Yes.
A lot of
Okay,
young people just
They
start
just
up
want to take.
businesses.
They just want
They
to
just want
receive
to-
from.
And that's
And
where
by
this
2-3 days, they're not ready to invest. Are there not times when you cry?
I never they
I
convinced
think that's
enough.
that's
See,
where
let me give
You know why?
Let me gist you first.
Mommy Girlba, wait, hold on first. You are on his
This
side,
Mommy
Mommy Girlba.
Girlba.
I guess say you did my side. You understand? See,
I get your side. Let me
what I'm
get
saying
I
is,
accept your
you know,
side.
there are a lot of vision on the streets
Okay.
with little effort, but these big men, they need to support these people.
See,
Okay, hold on.
it's still
Mommy
focusing
Girlba,
on the
Girlba,
big
wait
men.
now. Okay, leave big men.
Okay, yes, let's
Help
leave the
us.
big men.
Help
Help
us.
us.
Like
Yes.
I come to you and I'm Mommy Girlba, I get nice.
Okay.
I get it. What is that word that I would take home? Even if I say you know support me, a lot of people like they don't try on
You
their
have to be
own.
intentional
Now,
about yourself.
Let me share
Thank you very
something.
much.
Just
Intentionality.
you have to be very intentional.
Ah,
Very important.
Nothing is
Hmm.
brother, nothing is free.
you know, as a
Nothing
young
is
lawyer,
free,
when
even
I
in
started
Freetown,
practice,
nothing is free.
when I started practice, I was
Mm.
like, I went to the first chambers I started, like, thank you. I said, wow, how much I'll pay for America?
You don't see how
Mhm.
I just left practice.
Is that not
Now,
discouraging?
it was discouraging at first, but my principal, the one I'm working with, told me, see, you have to make the name first before the bigger briefs will come.
Mm.
That 10,000 that they are giving you, take it and keep struggling, keep working. At the end of the day, you'll be one of these big names. Bigger briefs will come. But when you abandon it because, is this change that they're giving, is this peanut they're giving to me, and then you go back to sleep.
Little beginning.
Nothing.
Mm.
So you must start. So see, the problem we have is our eyes is always on another person's spot. You want to use another person's light
You want
to see road.
You are planning with another man's
And this
pocket.
rich man wants you to have
this word
the
planning with another man's pocket.
Eh.
And sometimes-
and that rich man wants you to struggle from the
Because
scratch.
many
So
of
you
them
value
struggle,
it.
though.
True.
Okay, for instance, I had a time someone called me. I had a coaching session with a young lady who was in Abuja. And then she was married with 3 kids. She wasn't doing anything. Okay, she was working in a school as a teacher. It was really an expensive school because according to her, she had access to children of ministers, blah, blah, blah. In fact, when these children come back from holidays,
Yes,
the gifts they bring for her and
Wow.
all of that. Then if she has extra lessons for them, but she wasn't content, she wasn't happy. And then the way I like to tell or help young people find out who they really are. And I'm like, who? And she's like, no, she wants to be living her life like this, that. She feels she's not satisfied. Like she feels like there's more to do and she needs to give in more. And I'm like, who are you trying to model?
Exactly.
And then she said that the likes of Dora Kunbi, Okonjo-Iweala, and co. And then I asked a humbling question. And I'm like, have you been able to find out what their life looked like when they were your age?
That's a big one.
And then she went back to think about it. So you see that if you check, you may even be more privileged
Yes,
than
it's
them.
not all about the
When
butter
they
and
were
the
your
bread.
age, you need to now begin to work
Yes.
towards the future that you desire. I had an interview sometime last week, and I said, the truth is, okay, and part of the questions you asked was that 1.8 million students will jam,
And
1.4 million
failed.
failed. And I asked a simple question. When was the last time we heard parents tell their children education?
honestly,
It's a very deep one.
It is a value we grew with.
yes, true.
That education is the
It's
key. We were super interested.
Yes.
I don't care what we see on social media and how people just make it all of a sudden. Trust me, education has a backbone
Yes.
to all of this success that we see out there. And we must be intentional about letting people know that education really is key. Because if you understand this thing, you will understand that maybe you need to carve this thing. You don't just need, it may not just be money.
Yes.
It may not just be that big man you need.
Yeah.
the way we like to share it is that we say access is currency.
Yes.
It's a place you can get to, and there are people you could discuss with. I have the idea. Can I come here? Can I? In fact, many of the youth hubs that we have outside River State, say in Lagos, in Ogun State, these are the kind of, like, in fact, I think that, let's say this, and government needs to hear, and private individuals need to hear. We need to begin to set up youth hubs here in our state.
Yes.
Let young people come together, share
Their
ideas,
ideas.
and let me see that I connect with your vision,
Yes.
and so I can shake hands with you and say, please, let's work on this.
Oh, yes.
I connect with this vision and I meet with you and I say, let's go and work on it. I think that's what we really need now. And if we must grow the state, that's what we need. It occurred to me when I saw a video of how they're preparing the Lagos coastal way from Lagos to Calabar.
Yes.
And I'm like, we're watching these guys. They are leaving us behind. I pray. In fact, I don't like to pray like this again, but I was praying like this in 2021 or 2020, and I said, we will not buy petroleum products for 1,000 naira. I said it when it happened. Someone called me and said, you said this thing some years back. So I pray that a time will not come when you want to go to Lagos and
Visa.
it may not be a visa, they call it one thing. Visa in the same country. Or maybe you need to pay more to get there.
I beg.
So fast forward to the pressure we're talking about.
Yeah.
As in our society today, as we all know, Yahoo is the head of it.
Yeah.
For me, it's the next political flag
The
out
major
there.
challenge.
Exactly.
And
Port Harcourt is one of the states.
Biggest.
High.
as I was saying again, the Yahoo in our society now has
It's on
like
another level.
oh god,
Yahoo,
oh
Yahoo.
god.
It's on another
I don't know
level.
where the pressure is coming from, but I had an opportunity to speak to somebody in Edo State. And then I discussed with him because he was a friend, and I noticed he was somebody that was towing the right path. He's educated, because people feel he's non-educated that do Yahoo. No, he's educated. I'm talking
You need
about
to be smart.
I'm
to do
talking
Yahoo.
about a person who came out with a 2-1
You need to be smart to do Yahoo.
in
To
a
collect person
private
money.
university. You understand? And then I'm hearing recently he's in Yahoo, and I called him. I'm like, oh boy, how far? What's in the happen? I just say he don't join Yahoo. He say the pressure too much. I say, pressure from where? Is it from
Lifestyle
family?
course, now you know, no.
Is it from family? Is it from friends? Because if it's family, your family is comfortable. Is it from friends? Is it society? And guess what he told me? He said at his age, he's tired of depending on his family.
How old is he? Please?
So what happened to legit jobs? That his friends are making money. That is where pressure comes from, the friends. His friends are making money, and him too, he wants to make fast cash. I said, what does your friends do? Then they press now. A 2-1 graduate of a private university is telling me that they press now. Waiting they are
I
now.
beg, how much be in school fees? We go flog.
He studied, and the reason why he could do this is because
Those
he
private
studied
universities,
computer
their school fees,
science.
eh?
No, he studied computer science, and of course the school fees is high. And for somebody to come out with a 2, it means you're good in school.
It's just I don't know what's happening to society, but I think running on the fast lane is another problem we have.
Yeah.
We have youths
I
that are on
beg,
the
Victor
fast
Akuro,
lane.
digress. Is it this particular Yahoo issue?
That-
Is it societal pressure or family?
Because
I
this
mean, we
is-
don't know where it's coming
this
from.
is
Because
family
joy,
that-
I know.
Oh,
You will not
joy.
blame. See, me, I'll give you an instance. You
Families
see,
are giving out
a
college now.
24 years old boy, all right, his father is depending on him to pay his rent, to pay their
Yes.
rent,
Feeding.
feeding, pay their
nah.
sister's
Oh,
school
join
fees.
now.
And then when you look at all these things, most times, is it parental pressure, like family pressure, or
Everything.
society? Where is it exactly coming from? Because obviously, you're seeing that your parents don't have, so you have to do something to back that. Where is it coming from?
There's also pressure.
Self-inflicted.
Inflicted.
Now you want to do
I
big boy.
feel like that self-inflicted is not on it. It's pressure from either friends or something. There's
Yeah.
nothing like self-inflicted.
Not parents too.
No. In fact, at the point of parents, if we look at it generally, the challenge we have is people are not content anymore.
Yes.
It's a value problem.
I agree with you.
It's a value problem. People lived in our parents grew up not even having much,
And they are
and
fine.
they were content.
Yes,
They
exactly.
give us the
People were
world.
not.
They started having at the age of 40,
Yes.
most of them
Many
35,
of them built
40.
houses
Most of all
at
these
that
billionaires started making money
They said,
from.
Thank you.
You understand?
So, the question is, people. First of all, people are not content.
Yes.
As much as I always want to give an accolade to the new EFCC chairman, Sigrat how he's pushing on
Yes.
things. Last week, I told you I had a 2-hour session
Yes.
on development house strikes in Nigeria. And this was one of the questions that they brought to me. And I'm like, let us call this evil.
Evil, big one.
Have you ever seen an armed robber tell you he's an armed robber?
Don't know.
No, it's difficult.
Have you ever seen an armed robber come out or boldly say he's an armed robber?
No.
So let's call this evil.
Yes.
Like for if somebody is even identified as a
The
Yahoo boy, we see you with so much disdain, we see you with so much. Let the consequences for
society
it
not
be so
accept.
strain and grave. In fact, that if it has to be a death sentence, then
You can call it.
I don't even get the point, because if we must change what's going on in society today, you must point out this evil to be evil.
Yes.
How about the fact that these our ladies, they won't wear wig of 100,000 naira? You know, there's Pastor Numide was saying you won't wear bone straight, but your head
life
no
no
straight. You understand? You won't wear you
They are
won't carry Louis
wild.
Vuitton bag.
I was
You
telling you
understand?
about Jam.
Most of them, it's parents buying for them.
Yeah.
The other parents see they're not able to afford
Parents
something. So
It's sugar daddy.
you understand? So what would you say concerning
Thank you,
that?
man. Because tell me,
It's sugar daddy.
Okay.
Sugar daddy.
I was privileged to be with a sitting commissioner sometime last year. Had all the money and all of that. And then he was to send money to his daughter. Then it occurred to him that what she had asked for was money to make her nails. In fact, he had already said, send so and so amount to my daughter. Then it occurred to him that, wait, what's really did she even ask for this money? What is it for? And then he saw that it was
Just
money
nails.
to make her nails. So he said, no, don't send the money anymore. So he called her immediately. He said, I don't understand. You need 25,000 naira to make your nails in your father's house. When you get married, how would you make those nails?
40,000.
So
Exactly.
immediately, he said, my
That's
sister,
it.
you cannot do nails on 5K. Forget it.
Can you imagine?
And you're not working. It's different if
But
you're
hold on,
working. You're using
yeah, I
your money.
understand. But is it a bad thing to even carry nails of 25?
No. But you
If
need
you
to
can
be able
afford
to
it.
work for it.
Your
If you
own
can
now.
afford it,
It's
okay,
crazy.
let me
because
give
I'm
you
like,
a
This
scenario.
work, oh.
Somebody just some weeks back, someone said, I think 2 weeks ago, that someone had sent a message to her brother that she needed to buy how do you guys call it now?
Jewelry.
No, not jewelry, your cream.
Cream,
and
okay.
Okay.
Organic
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 the
cream.
blah,
Yeah.
blah,
All those
blah.
products.
But it's scrub.
All the strings and things. So everything amounted to 80-something pounds.
Woo.
And then the brother was in so much confusion. And he's like, oh, my sister said, guy, buy this thing. Like, I don't even know where I want from to buy this thing. Like, I said, so he said, please, can you help me talk to this young lady? I said, the truth is, these people, you talk to them nowadays, you
They
must know
vex.
how. This one, I want to make my brother not give me.
No,
I
give me the
tell
money,
you,
eh,
if
But you don't understand, the brother doesn't even have the money.
Money to give to you.
And the brother is telling you that this is like month. Yes, this was like towards April ending. So that's like 2 weeks ago. So the brother is like, I'm thinking of how I will sort my bills out by next week. I have a lot of bills. And I'm like, if he gives you the 80K now, how long will this last you? He said, you could use it for like 2 to 3 months. I said, then you come back to him again.
Again. That's why the Yahoo boys come. They must continue.
So it means you have to come back to him. What scheme
Contentment.
do you intend to?
I think that's
For-
comes
He like milk.
I think he's a student though.
Please, I just remembered something. Queen of Love, please. You know, you were gisting us before the show. You were gisting us about this. I beg. Tell these people this story.
I am
so that
telling you that I took my younger sister to write jam a few weeks back. And then when we got there, some of the young girls that came, they were not wearing pants. They were not wearing bra.
In this Port
Apparently,
Harcourt.
yes, in this Port Harcourt.
so a jam student should be like 15, 14 years.
Yes, you can
16,
imagine that.
16.
You know,
Well, let's say if
and
you
you
don't
know,
write the jam well, like max
you know,
20.
I'm telling you, and
Yeah.
that those, you know, these small children, their breasts still stand. So you can imagine. So what is our intention? To seduce
At
invigilators?
that age.
Or what? In fact, the invigilators had to chase them out.
There's
And then
something-
we bought Anki to start padding breasts.
There's
and-
something that trended. Meet me up at Jam, baby. Hook up with Jam. Something,
Nah,
there's
so that
there's
they-
this thing that trended. I can't really remember. There's this word. let's
meet at Jam.
at Jam, something like that. And I'm like, wow, in this
And
Jam.
I said the girls, they are wild. In fact, the cab guy that carried me there.
I beg, we are in
cab
Port
guy.
Harcourt. Make we visit the place.
Which area?
This
Which area?
as if you're going to after Elios, you get to that South
I
Road
beg, share
area.
location.
Down-
See them
I'm looking
there.
for that.
Share
I'm looking for the name of that
location.
place.
Anytime in the right Jam again, we'll
There's
go there.
one fast food in front of that street.
Okay.
As if you're going
It's a government school now.
no,
If you are going to location.
if after you've passed Eliozu, as if you're going to Sars Road. After that Sars Road, Rupako area. Yes,
okay.
Rupako. There's one fast food there.
Yes.
There's one fast food there.
I know
That's
the
the
place.
streets
I know
where
the
we went for
place.
the
Hey.
exams.
And
So
these
my younger
girls,
sister, she was not feeling like, when you dress too much, she was not feeling as if I slap you.
this boils down to
Anytime-
our
anytime they write
parents
Jam, me, I
also
go visit
failing
that
in their
place.
duties.
Yes, parents have failed. A lot of parents have failed because there's a particular woman that came there and said, "Now because we dey rush." I said, "Because you're picking away, picking away, bra." He said, "You dey rush."
So give and take. The parents, the mother will be like, how
Just say
old?
she dey come from the
The mother will
papa
be
house.
like, say that woman should be like 40 something,
Oh my
and
God.
she's also wearing,
So
so
really
you know that
nice.
they are also in the business.
Yeah.
Yes. The truth of the
Honestly.
matter is,
Honestly, our
I
girls.
Even-
think there's a value challenge. You see my
Yes.
fear.
yes.
And one time I was driving with a friend and then we were coming from a meeting and he's like, Victor, why are you so passionate about building a new Nigeria and all of that? Is it political? And I'm like, no, this is far from politics."
Yeah.
My fear is that these guys today will end up being the teachers to your children.
Yes.
The doctors your children will
Yes.
find in the
Telling
hospital.
you.
Nigerian next generation doctors.
Oh
No
my
talk
God.
again. No talk again. No.
So one time.
Oh, now come and marry my son.
So
Ah.
in fact, there was one time
Your mother
people were
said
saying that
you-
doctors smoke more than any other
Yeah, they do,
profession.
they do.
Like
And they also
doctors smoke more than
yeah.
any other. Whoever
Yeah.
smokes would always go the other way. Too.
Ah.
So, but I think that first of all, I think our challenge is a value challenge. We really need to as a nation.
Yes.
And
a
good-
reorientation
Yeah,
kind
there
of
need to
campaign.
be-
Yes.
Yes.
And good parenting.
And parents need to wake
Good
up.
parenting.
Parents need to wake up. You see the chat. So in fact, we were just in sometime, and someone was trying to cast our minds back. Says growing up as young children, and then he said if you wanted to watch a pornographic movie,
Hey!
there was so much scenarios to
I'm
it
telling
that
you.
you can really just give up planning to watch it.
Yes.
Because first of all, he gave this scenario like, first of all, don't forget to you go find where you go get the movie from.
Uh-huh.
When you don't buy it,
Yeah, you carry and go.
when you carry your
Carry
house, you get to wait make everybody for the house come out
Come on.
before I go watch
Which
am.
is almost impossible.
Uh-huh.
Then the second factor, if you dey watch am, light go.
Hey.
TV on for night when your father sit down for.
And then you,
By the time you think of all those things,
Yeah.
Somebody go tell
You
you.
go
Just
discourage
fuck up.
yourself.
But now
But
they have
now,
their phones.
as you just touch your phone, pam,
It don't open.
you know,
X.
we looked at a scenario. In those days, your parents look at you and tell you, my friend, get into the room.
Yes.
It's a challenge for you.
Yeah.
No TV did that room.
Nothing.
Because definitely
You
now
bury
want
your head in
TV
your
dey
book.
there.
That's the
Yes,
yeah,
just one
TV
general
dey for
TV.
parlour,
Oh my
days.
God, help us.
So once they say enter that room, now only you just first go lie down for bed, they look the fan,
Fan, they do the silly.
nothing. But nah, in fact, how many children they come out for the
But,
private
they tell
sector
you
now
consider.
too?
Let me
Because
add
they
to
are
Days
attached
by
to their
Moonlight, all
phone.
those things that we used to
Tales
watch.
by Moonlight.
Tales by
Tales
Moonlight.
by
Those
Moonlight.
very,
Now,
very
See, we need to
teachable
go back.
programs.
See,
I'm telling you.
Very teachable
I
programs.
need to know.
I need to
I
know.
need to know.
If education is the key,
I'm telling you.
then why did you deny?
Exactly.
We don't see those kind of things.
Nothing.
We need to go back to that. See, this fast forward, the fast forward, they
We
worry.
dey run-
We are not
Honestly.
mature enough for
See,
it.
we need
On
to
a
go back
speed
to
lane.
that drawing board. Many of these young people, apart from that, let's even try religion. I was gisting with a pastor friend, and I told him that the next generation would not come to church because they don't understand what we are doing there.
Yes.
They are impatient.
In fact, while I was saying it there and then, one answered and told me that the only reason why she goes to church is because her mother and her parents go to church. That if she has her way, that in fact, if she's in school, what will take her to church? So we have a challenge.
Gen
already.
Z generation.
Big
This
challenge.
We have a
they
challenge.
don't
In
like-
fact,
They know they agree.
we now looked at it, and then one person asked, "So how are you sure that church you are going to is even?" So they are
You
now.
know,
Hey,
you
brother.
understand?
Who were
yes.
we to question the church
The
our
church
parents
before.
were taking us
Yeah.
to?
You
get my-
understand?
As
yeah.
early as 6, you are awake. You're
In
ready.
fact, then
Dressed,
growing
seated
up,
and
church
waiting
was like
for
a
them.
place for recreation. For us.
Yes,
We wanted to go and see
want to
our
go and see
friends
our
in church.
friends.
Wanted to go and play.
Oh,
Church
God.
will close. We no one go. We they play. They run for the
You
full
go even
church.
happy when they get
Society.
meeting.
Yeah, make your parents get
Meeting.
meetings for church.
Don't go there.
Make you feel play with your friends before. But
See?
those days are now
Ah,
gone. So we
God.
need to begin to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
We need to begin to look at these things. And we coming up as young parents, we need to really be intentional.
Yes.
We need to be intentional. Have you gone to all these hangouts in the night? You see parents come with their kids. You see parents come with their kids, even on Sunday. I said, I wanted to eat fish. You can just stroll. I entered and I said,
Watch out there.
like 2 children, like these are.
See, my brother, a lady came to file divorce in my office. And then the daughter came with her. When I looked at the daughter, I said, Jesus Christ. At 14, see her nails. My nails, they learn work.
14.
At 14, see nails, 6 short skirt. And you know, their skin is like this, and they're fine.
They're big, well,
They're
you don't
big.
know.
They even big past me, big past their mama. 14. Looking, and the mother was asking her, so from here, where are you getting it now?
14 years.
Say, I'll talk to you later.
Ouch.
We
Jay-Z body.
Gen Z.
I said, so now, coming out, the father was more like caging them. So everybody wants to leave the father, even the mother, everybody wants to leave the father so
Okay,
that
freedom.
they can
freedom.
live their life. At the end of the day, you have, if you go to, like I was telling somebody yesterday, look at the cost list in court, you will see 10
Plenty
matters,
cost
you will
list.
see eight divorce matters. Because nobody
Yes.
wants to be caged.
Divorce.
Everybody wants to live their life.
Freedom.
You know the idea. You know what you just tried to say. Nobody wants to be responsible.
Possible.
So-
People want
That's
to
the
live their
major
life.
challenge we have.
The pressure.
It's easier to be responsible.
Exactly. It's
Yes.
very,
Growing
very,
up.
very-
It's not-
Growing up, parenting was really, really
Yes.
very, very, it's the key thing after book. Because once you go to school, you come home, you know that you have rules and regulations. Like in my case, when I was like I was 13 years. And I had friends that then this polo top that had different write-ups were trending. And then my friends had it. Me now, I don't get the pressure, so I find that kind of clothes. So I went home and I told my mom, my mom, this dress, because I have that relationship with my mom, we can discuss. This dress, I like it. My mom told me, no problem. When I get the money, I
I
will
will
buy.
buy
buy,
am.
no day.
Me now, I was with my friends that told me, if we go park, if you're in Port Harcourt, you know a place called park.
Yes.
We'll go see something. And then I felt like,
How many
okay,
years agree go park now?
Park.
at 13 years, 14 years, and
But how
give me-
many
they
years
go
agree
park,
go
they
park
go park. I
now?
wonder.
They go Steve-O.
May they just go clean up.
You know, as they go school,
They
they
go
give
back.
you
Because
small,
I remember
small
the time my
money.
sisters
Small
those
cash,
days.
yeah.
You know,
UST.
they
na
dey
park
mix
now.
them. They go mix
And they
am. You
dey
buy
use-
some new, buy some.
No, they
bad.
didn't go there.
How many of them go?
So my
They go
parents
Steve-O.
gave me money now. Go your snacks. And they save them. They say the money don't reach like 500 naira. Then money 500 are big
Yes.
money.
Yeah.
I
Five
enter
stops,
park
come out.
where I'm getting to watch me. And I picked a dress. Now the polo had "Kiss Me If You Can." That was the
Wow.
right top. As small as that right top. Hey, 24
Yeah,
now
no.
small.
I did tell you
Now
now.
36 then give me.
Now.
Now I wore the dress with my jean trouser. There was a
Looking
party
so
in the
kinky.
neighborhood that was looking kinky. I hot. Now as I was getting, my mom told me, "Come, hey girl, come." I come. As I came close, do you know what she did? She tried kissing me.
So you
The dress said, "Kiss me if you can." So as I was coming close, she was like, I said, "What was the problem?" Before I know, now I laughed on my face.
Fine.
I said, "Mommy, why
That's
did you
so,
slap me?"
You
No,
sister,
What did I do now? I started
That was
crying.
correct.
She said, "Kiss me if you can." So any boy passing on the road, we kiss
Kiss
you.
you. And but that's the truth.
Now to
Parenting.
correct. man.
She don't
Whoa.
know before I say 2 times 1 is 2. Go inside. As I removed that dress in my present, my 500 naira was
They burn
thinking.
am.
They're born. You know, rich. Go to party. Shall I you? After the party, I call my twin brother. CK, 36. After the 36 stroke, she said to me and said, "That is pressure."
True, but that is the truth.
Yeah.
Unnecessary. She called it unnecessary pressure.
You want to be like the
Imagine
next
I was
person.
not corrected.
Yes.
I will not have that mindset
but how
that
many
Then
influence
go even
parents-
kiss you
has a
sef for
long
that
role
party.
in my
How many
life.
parents still flog their kids?
They don't. They cheat.
They want to
in fact, this
damage
the
their
Gen Z-
skin.
the Gen Z skin. They said, no.
Don't damage the
I
organic
said, those my
products.
sons
now.
that I'm just saying, me and you flog.
Now from small you go
Yeah,
Oh,
the
breed
God.
them.
product of flog.
My niece said, "Mommy, are you sure you are my mother?"
I don't think you're my mother. My mom said, I will take you to the less privileged and take another child if I'm
I
not
was
your
an only
mother.
child for 14 years. But the way my mother is drilling me, you think she has 9 in the house.
See?
She was drilling me. She said, because you need to come out to be better. Today now, I'm telling people the story. This is it. This is how
Yes.
I'm able
was
to.
trained.
I have 2 sons and
there are
I can
certain
share
things
these
that you
ideas
would
with them.
do that you would try to even do outside when you remember.
Even at this age.
When you remember where you are coming
When you
from.
remember when
Holds
you're
you
coming
back.
I remember
Even
when
at
I
this
got
age.
admission into yes, even at this age,
You cannot do
I
certain
got
things.
admission into the university, and I schooled in the University of Abuja. And you know now already, Port Harcourt boy.
Mm.
don't
Yeah, I'm
come
telling
school.
you.
So I was already getting that Port Harcourt boy feel.
Vibes.
Everybody,
I dey tell you,
Beach
big
boy.
boy.
Yes, nah,
blah, blah,
Port
blah,
Harcourt boy.
beach boy. In fact, you get where I feel the pass for school, they go, they shout Port Harcourt. You see, they sweet me and my guys would always say, oh, but this Port Harcourt will come from there.
Don't worry.
Where we
Nah,
don't
nah,
start
selling
our
point.
shirt,
I'm
our
telling you.
jeans,
Eighty
come
ball.
out.
They so that.
And they go class, you go see some Malo girls go stand, they look, say, this Port Harcourt boys, they don't come school. They go, because the time when they use iron our shirt and trousers,
I'm
if
telling
I
you.
iron my shirt, the line for my shirt and the one for my trousers,
It
they
must
match.
line up.
The two must match if I stand. But man, we got there and funny enough, the pressure was conjuring calls. Like, you the PH boy, now you all this is not supposed to be
Yes.
For Abuja. oh.
And this is not the thing we make me, one of the things we make me run
Run from Port Harcourt.
The way where I don't day for PH.
Yes.
There's nothing we go carry me go university for Port
Where they
Harcourt
no go,
where
they
no go
blend
it's not
stress
go
you.
easy for them to drag me put.
Uh-huh.
I can't reach Abuja and I can't they still worry me for this kind of thing. I did talk this one they worry me, this one they worry me. But one day now I come, I say, come, my brother. See, if you know the church family where I come from, my father church, now me go take over.
Revive it.
Me with my papa
Oh,
don't die. I say my
Oh.
father church. Now me go be,
Wisdom.
the next
Next pastor.
pastor.
Wisdom.
Yeah. See if
It's
they hear say,
profitable to direct.
Yeah.
man,
Yes.
say this is a family thing, no go good man spoiler.
I
No
dey
go
tell
good
you.
man
You
spoiler.
see?
When I shared those kind of stories with these guys like that, some
You
country,
just
but
dey,
they can't be my guys, oh, finally.
Yes.
Oh. You know why? They are man. Ain't there anybody worry?
We
Let
will
us
protect
let
them.
us-
Let us
So we just been one die of Port Harcourt ginger. No be saying anything. We just want that ginger. Maybe just deal with us. You know. But the reason why I didn't join them was first knowing where I was
Where you
coming
coming
from.
from?
Knowing the
You had
suffer
a
when me and my
good
mother
Until
don't
so
suffer.
suffer.
See, now only this woman, the cataphobia, I don't get papa. I
I'm
don't-
telling you.
That struggle like that alone.
Yes.
And then the idea that there's a future ahead.
Yes.
Purpose.
Another challenge is many young people don't see what lies ahead.
At all, at all.
Do you know there are places you will go to today? There are certain things you won't want to do
Yes.
because of this thing you do.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Yes.
True.
Very
You will
true.
guard your actions, you will guard your thoughts.
Yes.
In fact, right now, it will guard the people you want to meet.
Yes.
It will guard even the places you want to hang
Hang
out.
out.
So I think outside, one of the things we need to do for the next generation is let's have a vision.
Yes.
Let them come. Let's have a guiding light for them.
Yes.
And one of the ways I like to say we can do that for these young people is find out who they would want to be like.
Exactly. Very, very important. They are role
What
model.
future? What do they think
Think,
future should be
yes.
like? You know that question I like to ask, like who?
Like who?
So when you tell me I'm a lawyer, the first question I ask you is
Like
Like
who?
who?
So you
Me,
must
if
have a
you tell
mentor.
me who you want to be like, it gives me an idea of how far you want to go as a lawyer.
I like that.
Thank you so
Very true.
much. Thank you so much. We appreciate.
Thank you
We
very much.
really
It has
appreciate.
been an
It's been
interesting.
awesome. Like we should not go
Yes,
again. We
at
should
all.
go.
Honestly, we really appreciate. All right, ladies
Thank
and
you very
gentlemen,
much.
we've come to the end of today's episode. Don't forget, this is GCT Podcast, the biggest podcast show in the city of Port Harcourt, right here
Oh,
in
yeah.
Rivers State.
River
Bye bye.
State.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank